Let's go live to the Shadow Energy Affordability Minister, Melissa McIntosh. Melissa, what do you make of the comments by Daniel Westerman today? He's the head of the energy regulator, basically saying he cannot guarantee prices will be lower under the renewable energy plan of the federal government.
Thanks, Kieran, for having me on. It's an extraordinary admission by the head of EMO, and it's something that everyday Australians already know. Their power bills aren't coming down under the Albanese Labor government and their complete and utter focus on renewables. In fact, people are paying $1,000 more now, and I think every Australian has given up on that promise of paying $275 less. So today I think the envelope's been closed, it's sealed, we're never going to get that, and that was an admission by AEMO. And this is because the government is so obsessed with a renewables-only approach. One of the local small business owners that we met in southwest Sydney today with the opposition leader Peter Dutton owns a cafe, and at first response when we said, how are things going? He said, yeah, everything's great. And this is what all small business do. They're so proud. But you just scratch the surface a little bit and he said, we're actually really struggling. People are struggling right now. And you know what the top of the list was? Energy prices. He said they're paying double the amount in electricity.
Do you accept the EMO argument, though, that it's the least cost pathway is the way he described it? He said wouldn't guarantee lower prices, but he says that the pathway to that energy infrastructure is the least cost pathway. Is that something you accept?
What sort of comfort is that to Australians that are lining up for food banks and getting their electricity bills paid for because they can't pay their bills? What people want in Australia is lower electricity prices. And that's why our policy that we're taking to the federal election includes nuclear, includes gas, which is so important for the supply of manufacturing and sovereign capability in this country. And of course, it includes renewables. But the Labor government is just so focused on renewables only, and it has been made clear today that energy prices will not be reduced by Labor's policies, despite the Energy Minister, Chris Bowen, going out on many occasions promising Australians that renewables will mean lower energy costs. I think it's time that Labor came clear
let me ask
with the Australian people.
Yeah. I want to ask you about this other story, obviously significant on the energy front, but there was another story. My colleague Tom Connell asked Allegra Spender at the press club just a half an hour ago about an intervention that she confirmed that she did make to the Financial Review about its covert power list, seeking to have Simon Holmes à Court removed from that list. She said that she took exception basically to the suggestion that Holmes à Court had influence or covert power over her as a member of Parliament and as a woman, and didn't appreciate the fact that he was on the covert power list. Do you think her argument stacks up?
Look, Kieran, I haven't been able to sit down and watch the press club and Allegra today because I've been out on the ground in Western Sydney on the issues that actually matter to every Australian, and that is high energy prices, that is high inflation. Another extraordinary result today is the IMF coming out and saying that Australia is top of a list we don't want to be top of because we are so far behind the rest of the world when it comes to controlling inflation. And we were out speaking to people who want to be able to afford to buy a home, and that is why we have a policy to unlock housing supply in areas like Western Sydney where people want the Australian dream and they just can't get it right now.